chosen ones, empaths, and all of the authentic, genuine souls out there that might not identify as a chosen one or empath just yet. Oh God, when you take this into an account, people are just not like you. In this world that we live in, the state of the world and the condition of the world that we live in now, people are not like you. You know how I address the intro. I say chosen ones, empaths, authentic individuals. Okay? That's who I'm addressing here. People do not have your qualities. Okay? People do not have these qualities. Okay? They don't. This content, our content on this channel, on our channel, is made for people like you, people that are truthful. People are not truthful like you. People are not loving like you. People are not caring like you. People are not supportive like you. People are not loyal like you. People don't have empathy or compassion like you. Okay? There's a huge separation between you and a lot of the toxic individuals in this world. There's a huge separation, a big contrast. A huge contrast, in fact, between you and them. This is not narcissistic. This is just pointing out the blatantly obvious fact is that you possess qualities that a lot of the population do not possess. Okay? They don't possess it. And there was a comment that I read recently, and I totally understand the person's comment. I'm not knocking the person's comment. I'm not berating them, if that's the right word. I'm not knocking them down. Belittling, maybe that's the better word of what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to belittle them. But it sparked a thought in my mind because I realized that many people do think like this, and it's not their fault, okay? But they mentioned in the comment that the narcissist that's involved in their life, and narcissists around the globe, they didn't say it like that, but they were talking about narcissists in general. They were saying that they don't introspect, okay? And introspection is an examine of one's own thoughts and feelings. That's the definition of introspection, right? And you might say to yourself, yeah, they don't examine their own thoughts and feelings. But of course they do, right? When you've got someone like you, who's loving, loyal, true, trustworthy, a potent source of supply towards them, someone that makes them feel comfortable, someone that supports them, someone who they can lean on, okay? They will examine their own thoughts and feelings, and this is why I always say that you should celebrate when the narcissist is out of your life, because that's when they truly wake up to the reality and get a realization of everything that you possess. And that's why you need to be the person in their life that lets them go. Doesn't matter if you've been discarded. Doesn't matter if you've been reverse discarded. Doesn't matter if you're the one to cut the narcissist off. Doesn't really matter. What you need to be the one is the one that gets on with their life, doesn't let them back in. Even if you've given them chance after chance after chance after chance after chance and you've gone back on them, it doesn't matter. The time is now, okay? And you don't give them no more chances. You get on with your life, and you need to develop that you have a knowing inside yourself. There's so much misinformation out there that narcissists don't have introspect, they don't think about their form of supply. Okay, maybe they don't think about former supplies, but you're not just any old person, okay? Why are people putting themselves down thinking that you're not just any old person, right? There was so much benefit that you provided towards the narcissist in your life. They didn't make you aware of this. They devalued you, in fact. They actually devalued you and made you feel unworthy, unlovable. Perhaps they done that. They made you feel like you're not doing enough, okay? When it's on the contrary to that. Really, you were doing enough and more, you know? And this is the thing. They do examine their own thoughts and feelings when they're with these new supplies. When they're out there with these new supplies, and the new supplies aren't cutting it, the new supplies aren't on your level. They're not as true as you are. They're not as loving as you are. They're not as pure as you are. And then they will examine their own thoughts and feelings and realize that they've lost out on something. You were the better choice. And they'll feel like they're missing out. To stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. To become a supporting member, please use the link in the description box below. But this is the thing. People are not like you. This is the thing. Who they run into. Who they run into next. Right? Who they run into next. This is why the narcissist never forgets about you for good. They're never going to forget about you. I've heard of people getting hoovered after decades. Right? 6 years, 5 years, all these numbers of years, right? Narcissists, indirect hoovers, direct hoovers, all sorts of just weird connections, weird fake profile requests, all this weird stuff, right? They do all this weird stuff because they don't forget about you, right? And yeah, you may be in a position where you're saying, oh, Zion, it's been 7 months, haven't heard from them, it's silent. 7 months is nothing. But please don't be waiting on, like, these people that I've spoken to, they may have been waiting on a hoover, in fact, for a little while. They may have been researching information like you are, and they saw about the hoover, and they thought, oh, I haven't got a hoover. And they obviously carried on getting on with their lives. And when it come after a decade, it made them feel sick. When the hoover eventually come after a decade, it made them think, like, that is really bizarre and strange. That a narcissist is hoovering after a decade. But like I always mention, and I want you to remember this, a lot of you that have been through the narcissistic relationships have had hoovers. It could have been the narcissist blocking you, then unblocking you. Simple as that. Could have been, you might not even notice they unblocked you. But they might have done it. You see? There could be something that happened in the last exchange of messages where they said something like, oh, you've left something at my house, or I've left something at your house, or could be a fake profile. These are all like hoovers, weird indirect hoovers. So that's why a lot of the times you've actually had these early on, because the narcissist has already processed these emotions that they've gone through, where the person tried to indicate that a narcissist doesn't introspect, but they've actually gone through these emotions where they have examined their own thoughts and feelings towards this new supply. And it's a big contrast from how they felt about you. It's a big difference from what the supply source they got from you, should I say. It's a big, big difference. So they've already examined their own thoughts. They've already examined their own feelings. And they feel like they're lacking in these new situationships. That's why I always say it's a celebration when they go and get on with their lives. That's when you're going to be they're finally going to reciprocate the things you said. You could have been in tireless conversations with them. Tireless conversations. They're not listening. They're choosing not to hear you out. They're choosing to be incoherent, if that's the right word. They're choosing not to be coherent. They're choosing not to listen to you. But like, now they hear you. All those times when you was trying to endlessly get through to them, now they reciprocate what you were saying. Now they know what you're saying. Now that you realize this stuff, and they're not going to come and tell you. They're not going to come and tell you. Why are they going to do that? Why are they going to put themselves in a vulnerable position? Tell you that they've made a bad choice with a new supply. Put themselves in a vulnerable position and make out that they miss you. They miss your supply. Why are they going to tell you that? They're going to try and make you feel jealous. They're going to try and bait you to chase after them. They're going to try and make you, so you just got to develop the knowing. It's all about the knowing with the narcissist involved in your life. And I've been talking about this quite recently. I need to try and format a video discussing about the knowing. But just touch on it now. Like, you need to have this knowing in yourself that this narcissist is never going to forget about you. Like those qualities I was talking about in the opening segment. About you being true. Truer than most people. Right? Loving, more kind, more generous. More supportive. More loyal, if I've already said that. More loyal, more empathetic, more compassionate. This all provides a potent supply source for a narcissist, which they like to try and exploit. Yes, they do. They like to try and exploit those qualities, but they enjoy that. And when they manipulate, before you're awakening, because you think they're true, right? You don't realize they put on a hell of a performance. They put on a crazy performance. To try and get you under their spell and stuff like that, right? Oscar winning performance they put on. Like, I don't know who does that sort of stuff. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? Who pretends to be someone else day in and day out? You know, sleeps in the same bed as people. You know, this happens even in friendships. It's not even just romantic relationships. It happens in friendships, family members, colleagues, colleagues, associates, bosses. You know, it's not even just romantic relationships, but these people pretend to be like on your side, pretend to be on your team, like supporting you, when really they're just playing. They got hidden agendas and motives the whole time. You know, it's sick. It's weird. It's weird. So, but what makes romantic relationships kind of bizarre is that these narcissists that are involved in your life actually put on these performances, especially if you were living together with them. If you were living together with a narcissist and this went on for a period of time, it's weird that they actually like put on this performance, and it shows how much they actually hate themselves. Okay? Shows how much they dislike their true self. They can't show you their true self. They know if they showed you their true self, you wouldn't like them. No one would like them. Their family wouldn't like them. Their friends wouldn't like them. The colleagues wouldn't like them. Their boss wouldn't like them. No one would like them. You wouldn't like them. They have to put on this performance to be liked. And everything for the narcissist is about being liked. They want to be validated. They want to be liked by other people. So you might say to yourself, hold on, Zad, so why do they turn nasty? And my theory behind why they turn nasty is because they can't contain putting up this performance day in and day out. That's basically what it comes down to. They can't. The evil nature slips through. The devil, negative forces, negative entities, the evil nature within them, whatever you want to call it, comes out. They can't contain that evilness. They can't contain it. So it comes out, and you see this in streaks and patterns of behavior when you're in the relationship with them. Whether it's a friendship, family member, romantic partner, colleague, or business partner, boss, associate, whoever. You see streaks in their behavior, chinks in the mask. You see this with them, and it goes over your head because you're conditioned for it to go over your head. You don't realize it's happening. So you let these things go over your head. And the empath, especially the empath, and even you authentic and chosen ones, right? You have empathetic qualities. When you have empathetic qualities, the thing is you do let things go over your head with people. You overlook it. You give people the benefit of the doubt. You say, oh no, like, okay, like you see it from their side, or you try and go understand it, especially when you think this person's on your level, on your page. So you let things go over your head, and it's until you see something definitive within them, then you're like, then it's game over. And that's what you lot need to focus on. A lot of you have seen something definitive in these narcissists that are involved in your life. Something definitive, like they're toxic. Something in their behavior, you've seen the unmasking, you've seen something, and it's like, that's your knowing. That's your knowing. You got to see that. You got to have a knowing that they're miserable with themselves. They couldn't contain their nature. They couldn't contain their evil nature, so they couldn't contain their evil nature, so they ended up lashing out at you. They're miserable with themselves. They hate themselves. Okay? They absolutely hate themselves. And the knowing that you have to have is when they go on to these new people, like people say that narcissists don't introspect, they can't see something, they can feel the difference in the energy from you and someone else. That's not true. Because the fact of the matter is, like I was talking about in the earlier segment, people are not like you. They're not truthful. They're not loving. They're not empathetic. They're not compassionate. They're not loyal. They're not loving. They're not kind. They're not generous. Okay? They're not those things. You are those things. So stop putting yourself... No, I know you didn't make the comment, but stop putting yourself in the same in the same value system as toxic individuals, because you're not that. There's a huge contrast. So please remember that and have a knowing. So you will be remembered. You will be remembered, and you need to be that person that is more rare, like I used to say in my earlier videos, is more rare to be able to get to. It's more rare to have a conversation with a date or whatever than some Hollywood celebrity. Let them go and DM 1,000 Hollywood celebrities and try and get a date or a phone call or something like that. Let them try and go and do that. Like, don't give them no chances with you. That's how rare you need to become. Okay, you need to become even more rare than a Hollywood celebrity. But I'm just trying to paint a picture in your mind of what I'm trying to say. You need to behave like them, to behave towards them like you have to. So they're not going to forget you for good. They won't. And you'll always remain embedded in their consciousness. And you will always be the benchmark and the point of reference for whoever they encounter in their lives in the future. You always will remain that benchmark and point of reference. They will never supersede you or find someone to match your worth. And you've just got to have a knowing about that. It brings you clarity, mental clarity, to have this knowing. So try and incorporate it, even if you're finding it hard to believe, or you're taking what the narcissist that was involved in your life done to you, like the betrayal, the broken trust, the devaluation, like you're taking those things and you're seeing yourself in that light. Okay, it's understandable that you might not fully grasp what I'm trying to say now. We'll save this video, play it in your playlist, come back to it in a month's time. I'm telling you, you never look. Time doesn't heal. Through time, you learn how to deal with the situation. It's always through time you learn how to deal with it. So if you go through some time, you'll start adjusting. You'll be going through an adjustment. You'll start to learn how to deal with it, and perhaps this video might make more sense if you're, in the future. You never know. So I'm not asking you to grasp everything of what I've said in this audio. Take what you can from it. Disregard the rest. But take something from this, and the main component that I want you to take from this is to have the knowing, okay, about yourself. That there is a lot of fakes and snakes out there. A lot of frauds, a lot of phonies. You're not the same as that. And even if this narcissist that was involved in your life tried to make you out to be something like that, or the narcissist involved in your life made you out that you didn't do enough, or they planted these seeds of doubt in your mind, that will go. That will go through time as well. Okay? So don't let that hold you back. But I promise you, they will not forget about you. And I've heard of hoovers coming after years apart from narcissists, right? Don't wait on the hoover. But by the time it comes to you, you remember that you've already probably reflect on what I was talking about earlier in the segment as well. About you've probably already received a hoover and it went over your head and you didn't realize it was actually a hoover. But these other hoovers that come, indirect hoovers, bizarre hoovers, you're going to be so healed by that point. You're going to be sickened when you realize that the narcissist that was involved in your life is still thinking about you. So thanks for listening today. To become a supporting member or to donate to the channel, please find the links in the description box below. And if you'd like to know about ignoring the narcissist after they discard you, click this video here, and I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.